What's going on, YouTube? I know it's been quite some time since I uploaded a video. Um, like I said in my other videos that I've done before, I'm not a big YouTuber. I just kind of make videos when I see a point of making a video. A lot's done happened since the last time I made a video, which is been 2 months ago, maybe a month ago, something like that. Anyways, that 2015 Freightliner I had, I don't have it no more. I got rid of it, and I actually got rid of it because it was time to get rid of it. It was the right time to get rid of it. The reason why I decided to go that way, the account that I'm on, and making really good money on this account. So I was able to save up a lot of money because I was making a lot of money on this account. Well, turn around, I started looking at older trucks, something before the DEF system and all that came in effect. And I heard, watching YouTube channels and reading stuff about trucking and stuff like that, and how you can't get parts right now and you can't get new trucks, and that caused the used truck prices to go skyrocket. All the big carriers, all the mega carriers aren't trading in their old equipment to buy new equipment, so there's no used trucks out there really. And the trucks that are out there, they're going for 25, 30, 40% more than they were last year because of that fact. So I thought to myself, I said, well, if I'm going to trade my truck or sell my truck or do a consignment sale, now's the time to do it, because I wasn't trying to be greedy. I was just trying to get out from underneath that truck so I wouldn't have a truck payment no more. And I was like, if I'm going to do it, now's the time to do it, because I'll be able to sell it without an issue. I wouldn't have to hold on to it or put it on Facebook and had to meet a bunch of people and, take 2, 3, 4 months to sell it or anything like that. So I turned around and I was going to do a consignment sale, which is where you take your truck to a truck lot and they put it on their lot for sale for you, and then they just get a commission off of it when they sell it. Well, I was going to do that until one of my dad's friends decided he wanted to get into the owner-operated business, and he was looking at a truck. It was a 2016, had like 500 some thousand miles on it, and they wanted like $60,000 for it. And I was like, well, you tell your friend if he wants to buy a truck, tell him I'll sell him my truck, for payoff. And which is, like $38,000 is what I owed on the truck. And I was like, I had a book. I got a book. I carry a book like this, and inside that book, I write down everything that I do to the truck. Anytime I change the oil, anytime I change the air filter, anytime I do anything to the truck maintenance-wise, I write it down with the mileage, the hours, and all that stuff. And so he come over, he looked at the truck. He's like, man, he said, this is nice. He's like, this is a nice truck, man. He said, I can't believe, he said, this truck is more nice and more clean than the trucks I've been seeing at the truck lots. I was like, well, it's my bread and butter. It's what I use to take care of my family. This is what I use to run my business. This is what I use. It's what I live in. 3, 4 nights a week. So I'm gonna take care of it. And I showed him that book, and I showed him all the receipts and everything like that. And man, he wanted that truck bad. So he had no problem at all giving me payoff for the truck, which he knew he was getting a good deal. because I talked to one truck lot, and they told me, he's like, well, I told him, I was like, I want $40,000. He said, that's no problem. He said, we'll put it on lot for $50,000, and you know, we'll get our commission out of it. I was like, okay. I was like, you know, but I wound up selling it to that guy instead. So the account that I was on, it wound up dying down for a little bit. So everything, the Lord blessed me very, very well. And I'm kind of like one of those, you know, golden gooses, you know, one of those fairy tale stories that would happen. Like I said, I've been on this account for a couple of months, and well, a few months actually, and I was able to save up enough money, and I started looking and glancing, and then I knew that this route that I've been doing, this account, was about to die down, and I didn't know whether it would be, you know, a week or 2 weeks, a month, or a year before, you know, they was going to need my help again. But like I said, I done built up enough money and saved enough money, not have to worry about that. So I turned around when this account was done. I met up with the guy and I sold the truck. So when I sold the truck, I started looking. I started going everywhere. I went to Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I went to Fredericksburg and looked at 4 trucks in Fredericksburg. I went to, where else did I go? Now I went to some other places and looked at other trucks. Why? Because like I said, I knew I wanted to sell the truck, and before I went back to running the load board or anything like that, I wanted to find me a truck and get everything settled and get it fixed up and into par and all that good stuff. So I turned around and I found a truck in Charlotte, North Carolina. It was a 2007 Freightliner Century with a Detroit 60 14-liter in it, and which is pre-def, but it's got an EGR, but it's later EGR, so it's, you know, like when they say when you want to buy a def, you know, a truck that has def system on it, you want to try to buy one that's after 2015, because from 2009 or 2009, when they started coming out with the def systems, they had a bunch of problems with them because it was new to them. You know, it was new software, new mechanics, and all that other stuff. So it took them a while to get the bugs worked out of them. So if you're going to get you a newer truck, you want to get you something that's past 2015, because all the research that I've done and all the videos and stuff that I watched, 2015, they basically had all the bugs and stuff worked out of it. So it's the same thing with like EGR. EGR started coming out in 2003, late 2003. So by 2007, everything, 2006, 2007 is when they basically kind of had all the bugs and stuff out of the EGR system. But anyways, it was a truck down in Charlotte, North Carolina that I found on Facebook, and it's been completely overhauled, like completely. I can't do like what some of these guys do, where they put pictures and they show it to you in a video. I don't know how to do all that, but I can show you some pictures on my other phone. So this is the motor that they took out. And that's the truck. I don't know if there's a little bit of a glare, but I'll show you a better picture. And that's it going inside the truck. But so turned around and I rode down there, and I talked to the guy, whatever. He said, well, we got somebody coming Friday. And I was like, well, man, I'll be there Thursday morning and take a look at it, and I'll give you your asking price for the truck. I said, I won't try to window you down or anything. I said, if the truck will pass inspection, I'll buy the truck from you. You know, I won't try to window you down $1, you know, nothing. And he was like, well, okay, come on down. So I went down, looked at it, test drove it. I test drove the shit out of it. And looked it over. The only thing that was wrong with it was the Jake brake. It was working when I test drove it, but when I pulled back into the parking lot and I revved it up, the Jake brake wasn't working when you let off the gas. And turns out it was the switch down at the pedal. It come loose. Down at the clutch pedal, it came loose. So they put a new switch in and tightened it up and all that good stuff. Well, I turned around and I bought this truck, paid cash for it. Cash money. No more truck payment for me. Turned around, met that guy at the bank, and he did what I did. He went to the same bank that I bought my, I financed my bank through. I went to a credit union and they gave me the cash to buy the truck, and they did the same thing for him. I got down there and I said, hey, he wants to buy my truck. I want to sell it to him for payoff. Whatever I owe on the truck is what I'm going to sell it to him for. And it was like, they ran his credit. They said, all right, Mr. Morris, well, as soon as the title comes in, we'll give you a call and you come down here and sign it, and then we'll be done. I was like, okay. So for about a week, I had 2 trucks sitting in my driveway, and I was a little nervous because the paperwork ain't been completely done, but I was still fine. I had plenty of money. Like I said, I had more than enough money saved up to where I could have turned around and put my truck still in consignment sale. For some reason that guy backed out or whatever the case may be, couldn't sell the truck to that guy. I could still put it on consignment sale, and I'd had no problem paying the truck payment until it got sold. That wasn't going to be an issue. But I turned around and took off about a month. It took a month off to get everything right on this truck. It came with an APU on it, but the APU on it was trashed, and I looked into getting it fixed, and it was going to be something like $7,000 to get it rebuilt and all this other stuff. I'm like, nah, we ain't doing that. So I actually jerked the APU unit off, crawled up underneath the truck, pulled out all the wires, and I found out why these damn APUs cost so much, because you couldn't pay me $5,000 to install one of these damn things, because it's just wires galore. It's everywhere, tied into everything, and it's just crazy when you go to pull one out. So I can imagine putting one in, but I jerked everything out, took it all out. It had a fridge, a 12-volt mini fridge in it. I took it out and plugged it up to a jump box. A little fan cut on, but the compressor wouldn't cut on. And I looked in and getting a new 12-volt mini fridge that goes into a truck. But the 12-volt mini fridge was like $500-600 to buy another one. And I was like, screw that. So I turned around, went and bought me a fridge from Walmart, a little mini fridge from Walmart, paid $98 for it. Put it in here. And then I turned around and went to Harbor Freight and bought me a generator. And I didn't do like some of these guys where they run it, because I did the generator and the stand-up AC unit combination thing or whatever, and I did it right. Some of these guys, I understand you're out here working, you don't care what you got going on as long as you're comfortable and you're making money, and by means do that. But what I did is I actually got I got the generator, and right now I got it strapped to my catwalk, and I got a cover over it, and I got a drop cord running underneath. I got it running underneath the truck. And what I did is I got a buddy of mine who does fabrication work. He's a welder and a fab guy. So I actually took my truck to him, and he cut a perfect hole in the floorboard, which is not very big. I don't want you thinking I cut this big old hole in the floorboard, and I didn't. When it's literally like that big. It's not big at all. And he did it a perfect cut for the exhaust. So I don't have anything going out the window, and I don't have anything going out on the top window of the bunk or anything like that. I don't have to do none of that stuff. So I got all that hooked up, and it looks good. Like, you can't tell, but I kept, when you have the AP unit mounted, let me see if I can flip this camera around. I can't flip it around. I don't know how to do it. Anyways, I'll post another video on how, if anybody's out there and they're wondering how to do the, generator setup and all that other stuff, I'll post another video on that to show you how I did it and how it looks. But the AP unit, it's clamped on the side of your frame. So what I did is, besides unbolting the whole motor and everything, I just took a cutting wheel and I cut the mounts to the AP unit, and it fell off. And what it is, there's clamps on the side. It clamps to the frame on the top, and then on the bottom it clamps. So I kept those clamps because I'm gonna get this guy, my fab guy. He's gonna turn around and make me a box just like the APU to keep my generator right there. And it's it's electric start and remote start or whatever. So it's basically the same thing as the AP unit. The only thing it doesn't do is it doesn't charge the batteries. That's it. An AP unit, the only thing you get is it's diesel. It runs off your diesel and it charges your batteries. Other than that, there's no other benefits from it. Where this, the whole setup, buying the generator and buying my stand-up AC unit, I can try to show y'all a picture of the stand-up AC unit. That's it right there. Sits in that little pocket. But that whole setup, and paying him to cut the hole and do it all right for me and everything, I got less than $1,500 in the whole setup. So I still don't have to idle my truck. So I don't have to idle my truck at all, and whatnot. But I turned around and did that. I jerked out one of the cabinets, and on this side of the truck, where the the little pull-out drawer where you have your little desk or whatnot, and underneath it was the fridge. Well, I jerked that whole thing out because it was one piece, not like some of these new trucks where the whole cabinet's made into one piece altogether. Older trucks aren't that way. Some of them, anyways. So I took that out and put me a power converter in here for my TV and for my refrigerator and my microwave, and I put it right here. So it's about the same height and takes up just as much room as that cabinet did, so I didn't lose any room on that. If anything, I gained room because I got the mini fridge that you can get from Walmart or off of Amazon or whatever. They have a lot more room than those mini fridges that come in semi trucks. But anyways, like I said, man, it's all in. Some people want to have the nicest truck out here, and don't get me wrong. I mean, these trucks are older. They're not as wind resistance as far as like noise wise. It's not as quiet going down the road where you can fall asleep because it's so quiet you can hear a pin drop. I mean, it's not like that. But I don't run, like I said before, I don't go to California, and I don't go to New York and Maine and Chicago and all that. I don't do that because I don't have to do that. And especially now, Because selling that 2015 truck I had, I don't have that, because I had a $700 a month truck payment. A month, remember now, I was only paying monthly. But I paid more because my loan guy, well, you've seen it on the other videos, my loan guy took out the loan longer because he didn't want me stressed out over a big old truck payment. He's like, you can pay as much as you want. He said, but if something happens, you know you're only liable for this a little bit. So $700 a month for the truck payment, $250 a month for the insurance, and then you was paying, I don't know, something like, let's say $100 a week in death. So, you know, selling that truck off the get-go, I was saving $700 for that, $250, which is $950. You know, I'm off the get-go for saving wise, and then $400 a month for, so I was $1,350, $1,400. I'm saving $1,400 a month now, because I don't have a truck payment. I don't have to pay for death fuel no more, and my insurance now is only like $110, $115 a month. So all that money that I'm saving, you know, that $1,300 a month that I'm saving now is pure profit. I could turn around and take that, you know, $1,300 a month and put it right back in my truck, you know, to fix it up. Because like I said, she runs good and she looks good, you know, as far as decent wise, she looks decent. But I don't have to do anything really, you know what I mean? There's other stuff that I'm doing, like to make it mine, as far as like you know, I put the dash mat in here to cover up the you know, I put the carpet dash mat in, and then I'm replacing all the shocks just because I don't know when's the last time they're replaced. Like the all your rear end and your transmission fluid and all that. I'm changing all that out so I know it's been done and I'm good for, you know, 250,000 miles and all this other stuff. You know, there's stuff that I'm choosing to do so I know it's done. Therefore, I put it in my little book and I can start keeping up, because I don't plan on selling this truck like I did the other one. My intentions was always to get rid of that truck and get an old truck. I was just able to do it a lot sooner than I thought I was because of the account that I'm on. But as soon as I got done fixing the whole truck up and get ready to do my first load, I get a call from the agent and says, hey Brandon, they have that route back open in North Carolina. Would you be interested in coming back doing it? I said, absolutely. I'll be down there Monday morning. And she's like, okay, great. You know, I'll send you over the paperwork. And she's like, because what it is contracted work, I'm running for a company that doesn't have enough drivers. And every time they hire a driver winds up quitting before he gets set loose on his own or he tears something up. So she's saying, I know for at least the next month, I'm good on this account for another month. So I know I'll be making at least, I'll make between $9,000 and $11,000 a week every week for the next 4 weeks. I know that for sure, because the hiring process is, if they hire someone today, then it takes at least 4 weeks before they get set on their own. But in the meantime, they turn around and had 2 other guys quit. So now they got 3 runs open. So, and they got 1 guy training right now, and they still have 3 runs to cover. And at the same time, they don't have no spare drivers. So if a driver goes on vacation or driver calls in sick or a driver needs a couple days off, they don't have nobody to cover that run. So they turn around and they call me, or they call my dad, because my dad's over here doing the account too. Um, so like I said, until everything goes back to normal, because you can't get nobody to work, and all these other companies are offering more money, and or a bigger sign-on bonus, or whatever the case may be, they just can't get drivers over here, or they can't keep drivers. So I'm just going to soak it up as long as I can. And in the beginning, when I said I only work 3 or 4 days a week, well, I'm not running at all. Like last night, I ran 362 miles last night, and the most miles on the route here is 482 miles or something like that. It's less than 500 miles, I know that, but that's the most miles on a run. So, and I'm only an hour away from the house. So like I said, I'll come down here, and I'll be down here for a whole week if I got to, because of the money that's over here. But anyways, that's all other stuff that the video is really talking about it. Me selling my truck and buying an older truck. In my next video that I make, I'll do a video of the truck that I bought and the generator and all that setup is. But like I said, it's, if I'm able to do it, I'm nobody special at all. I'm really not. It's just I pull in loads, and you get friendly with the agents, and you talk to the agents, and you get in good with them, and you just ask them, hey, you got anything else, or you got any kind of dedicated freight, or you got anything on a regular basis. And that's how this come about. I was doing something else for this woman, and I was like, well, I said, if you got anything else that you need to be done, kind of like this, let me know. I'll be happy to do it. And then she turned around and said, hey, I got this. And I was like, what kind of numbers? And she told me, and I couldn't believe it. And I was like, absolutely, put me on that. I will do that. So I saved up the money. Just because you're making, now I was profiting. I'm telling you, I will show you on my phone, or show you on my thing. I was profiting, not gross. This is net. This is net now. I was netting $10,000 a week, and not even doing 3,000. I won't even come close to doing 3,000 miles a week. So just because you're making all this money doesn't mean go buy you the nicest car. Don't mean go buy you the nicest tennis shoes and take off, because you don't need you already done made your money for the week or for the month. Just keep grinding and keep doing to meet that plan you want to do, whether it is to pay off the truck you're in, or whether it is to sell that truck and buy another truck, or hell, buy 2 trucks and have someone else run it for you. Whatever the case may be is, you could do it. There's no reason why you can't. Especially now in today's market, man, it's crazy, dude. I mean, it really is. It's the market is crazy. Do I think you should get in as far as doing owner-operator now? I'm kind of split on, if you're going to do it, now's the time to do it. But also, I don't think so, because I don't want people thinking they coming in and they seeing all these loads that are paying, it's nothing to see a load paying $4, $5, $9, $10 a mile, when by the time the market levels out, then it drops back down to the average of $3 a load, or $2.50 a mile, whatever the case may be. The big thing is trying to have a small nut. So if you have a bigger bowl, it don't matter. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's the right phrasing or not, but you shouldn't you want to shoot for the minimum. You know, you don't want to base everything on your minimum, but go bigger if you can. You know, because if you know if you can live off of $3,000 a month or $3,000 a week, keep living at $3,000 a week. Just because you turn around and make this amount of money, you know, you make an extra, you know, $2,000 or $3,000 extra on top of what you normally get, doesn't mean, you know, you should stop. You know, like if your goal is to net $3,000 a week, turn around and, you know, Wednesday comes down or Thursday, you deliver your load Thursday morning, you say, okay, well, I done made my $3,000 a week. That's the wrong mindset to have if you having a goal to buy a truck or to pay a truck off or sell your truck to buy a truck that's paid off. You know, kind of like what I did. You know, go ahead. If you already planned on running Thursday anyways, run that Thursday, make that extra money. You know. But that's really all it is. You know, I ain't made a video, and now I'm excited about the situation I'm in now, because especially some of these videos and some of these guys I see on Landstar Facebook page, or some of these guys I see on the new owner-operator page, you know, where they having all these national back orders on all this def stuff, like the dozer and the def leveler and, you know, all this stuff. You know, the one box. There's a dude on Facebook, on YouTube, he was down for almost 2 months to get a one box put in his truck because of the back order. Could you imagine being off for 2 months and not making any income at all, and you still have an $800 a week truck payment and a $200-300 insurance payment a month, and at the time you're still going in debt because if you're at Landstar, you still got deductions coming out of your check every week, because whether it's tags or IFTA or insurance, whatever it is, or your permits, they're still dwindling away. Because like where I was all for that month, when I come back and ran my first run, I was negative like $526 or something like that. So I mean, could you imagine being off for 2 months, not making no money because you can't get a part for your truck? Or, you know, I had to get a get a radiator put in, and everywhere I called, they said, you know, they're on a month wait. You know, they're backed up for a month before they can get in. I'm like, dude, there's no way. So I found a small shop that, you know, does a lot of my work for me, and they had my truck for, you know, 2 days. I dropped it off on a Sunday, picked it up on a Tuesday morning. But, you know, it's like I said, it's especially right now, man.